The game that finds the perfect sensitivity for you has a built-in aim trainer, plus a bunch of really nice features that neither Kovacs or Aim Labs have, and it's only $15. Wow, that sounds pretty good. Well, the game's called Oblivity, and I downloaded it to try it out and see how it shaped up against the other aim trainers. Here's what I found. So as I said, Oblivity is only $15, but at the moment, as we can see, there's a 25% sale. Also, that's 15 Australian bucks. So for all you Americans out there, it's actually about this many bucks, which is pretty fucking good. Anyway, after we download the game and load it up, it's got a nice, friendly user interface. Fuck me, I fucked up what I said. I'm just going to continue anyway. It's got a nice user-friendly interface with a bunch of cool features, stats and analysis charts, but who really gives a shit about that, right? This is what we came here for, the sensitivity finder. Now, as you can see, I've already completed 3 of these bad boys. I changed my settings and my profile for each one to see what different results I'd get, but I'll get a little bit more into that later. Now, for you newcomers, you're just going to want to click Add New Sensitivity, and it's going to ask you to put in some settings and make a profile so it can find a good starting point for you. There are a couple of things in here that really matter, but most of them don't, so I'm going to skip over some of them quickly and talk about the more important ones. So firstly, it's going to ask you your skill level. It really doesn't matter too much, just pick one that you think is your skill level. Now for progress speed, pick accurate or hardcore. Trust me, I'll get more into it later, but you're going to want to pick one of these 2 settings. But again, it really doesn't matter too much, but I'd just recommend one of those. Next up, you're going to want to pick your game. What game do you play and what sensitivity do you play on that game, at least most recently. Field of view, and you can set your field of view per game. So I'm just going to chuck all mine on Overwatch here, pretty much standard for aim training. Now, this setting over the right, this one's real important, alright? It's going to ask you if you're a wrist, mixed, or arm aimer. Now, only you really know the answer to this question. Personally, I've practiced aiming in all of these styles on a wide range of sensitivities over the years. At first, I chose the mixed option for this, but then I later created another profile where I chose the arm aiming option. And of course I use my wrist when aiming, but I find my best and most comfortable aiming is done when I'm predominantly aiming with my arm and just using my wrists and fingers for micro adjustments. So just choose an option here that you think is most suited to you. Now next up, it's going to ask you to move your mouse across your active aiming space. Don't go out of your comfortable aiming range for this one. Keep it within the bounds of where you would actually aim without feeling like you need to pick your mouse up and recenter it. Now, there's going to be a few advanced options here at the end. Just don't touch these or leave them on the default. They're good the way they are. Maybe later when you know what you're doing, you can come mess around with them. Congratulations. Now set up your profile and you're ready to find your perfect sensitivity. Well, first you're going to need a playlist that suits you. Honestly, it'd be nice if Oblivity had a standard or recommended playlist here for new players at least, but they don't. It's not too much of a big issue, at least for people who are familiar with aim trainers, but for a newcomer it might be a little bit daunting. Well, luckily there's a bunch of community-made playlists for a bunch of different games. Have a look through here until you find the game and playlist that suits you, and now you can get started. Basically, what Oblivity is going to have you do from here is start aim training. 15 rounds on each task for about 30 to 60 seconds each round, and each round it's going to give you a different sensitivity based on your profile. Then, after you do this enough, Oblivity is going to collect all that data. It's going to give you your perfect sensitivity based on your performance. Now, it's very important to note here, do not skip tasks because they're too difficult. Do not skip sensitivities because it's too difficult. And try and select a playlist that really applies to the game that you are playing and has actual challenging tasks. All these tasks are community made and therefore some of them are really easy to get high accuracy on. And you're not going to find your god Valorant sense by playing fucking grid shot or some task that has you tracking a bot the size of Roadhog. You got to challenge yourself here, and that's how you're going to get the best results. Now, you're going to want to play this each day and complete at least one playlist a day. As you do this, Oblivity is going to collect the data. It's going to give you a rough number of your ideal sensitivity, and then based on what progress speed you selected, eventually it's going to say it's found your perfect sensitivity. Now, I'd recommend continuing past this point, as the number is going to get more accurate the more you play. I personally play most days as a warm-up or just for some fun and practice. The sensitivity randomizer is actually really fun and challenging, and it's a great way to warm up and practice your aim. It has you doing everything from wrist, fingers and arm, and keeps your sense changing, keeps you on your toes, you know what I mean? Now, at the start, I said Oblivity had a bunch of really cool features that neither Kovacs or AimLab had. And I wasn't fucking kidding. Check this out. First, it has a sensitivity converter. If you need to convert your sensitivity from game to game, it's a perfect tool to have. It also has an eye and wrist warmer, just some exercises you can do before playing to warm up your wrists and eyes for optimal performance, and of course avoid damaging your wrists in the long term, because no one wants that. Pretty cool feature. It has a reaction time trainer with a leaderboard so you can see how you fare against other gamers. I'll be honest, the only time I did this was when recording this video, but they're always really fun. And lastly, a routine system, which I also haven't fucked around with, but you can set up a routine or pick from one of the community made routines. You can complete this each day or whenever you play. Also a nice convenient feature to have. As well as all that, Oblivity has a bunch of stats and analysis you can go through. You can see average performance per sensitivity as well as a shitload of other stats. But by far the nicest feature in my opinion, and this is something I've always wanted in Kovacs, is leaderboard replays. You can go to anyone in the leaderboard, watch their replay, and even see what sensitivity they were playing on. This is really cool, and I think it's an excellent feature, particularly for new players who just want to see how the best players do it. So really sick feature, honestly. Anyway, I said I wanted to see how Oblivity shaped up against the other aim trainers, and honestly, I think it's pretty good. In terms of raw aim training, Kovacs would still be my preference though, but it's just because there's so many good community made tasks such as the voltaic benchmarks and whatnot. But as more people get Oblivity, I'm sure the community made tasks will reach that same kind of level as well. Now, do I think Oblivity is worth your $15? Well, yeah, I do. But you need to make sure it's something you're really interested in and actually going to stick to. I noticed only 0.7% of Oblivity players have gotten the achievement to complete a single sensitivity finder, which is what I'd imagine most people are downloading the game for. It's the main selling point. I mean, outside of that, it does have a really solid aim trainer, as well as a bunch of those sick features that I showed you. So yeah, 100% I'd recommend Oblivity. Give it a go. Now, thank you for watching the video to the end, guys. Obviously that's not my real voice, I just put that on for laughs. It actually made my throat sore talking like that the entire time. But yeah, this video is not a sponsored video, by the way, obviously. I don't get anywhere near enough views for it to be a sponsored video. I just honestly think Oblivity is a really sick aim trainer and just has a bunch of cool stuff to it. So I'd like to see the community grow for it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got more stuff coming soon. I think my next one might be habits to improve your aim. Habits that I do and I know other people do to just get better performance in game. These things you can do both inside and outside the game. So that'll probably be my next video that's coming. If it's something that interests you, then stick around in the channel. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.